Alright guys, here's the situation. It's about 4:45 on a Friday, and the worst thing happened the worst thing I could have thought to happen happened. I was on my way home from work, and it started. You know, the dreaded SHTF. And what makes it worse is because it was when I was away from my house. You know, I commute an hour to work each day. So I've always dreaded that if something were to happen, it would happen while I was that far away. But I made contingency plans, you know. And basically, I tried to get home as best that I could with my vehicle. And, you know, I could only get so far on the road. Eventually, I had to ditch it. Now, along my route, I've always made plans of what would happen in that situation. From my work, I have a 5-minute, away from my work is a 5-minute location of family, where I have gear and items and weapons and stuff stashed to help me get home. But this was beyond that point. But I also, about midway through, a little closer to midway through, on my way home, I do have a cache and a bug out location, just in case for this specific event. I had no choice but to ditch the vehicle. We're not too far, a few miles from a main highway, or not a highway but a road, and but I had to ditch it. You know, I stashed it as best I could just in case I needed it for resources later, and I got to this location right here. Now luckily I cached some stuff away from this in this little site here, some basic supplies just to get me going. Now the thing is, first I was able to make my last communication to my family, my wife, and they were able to get out, and they got out to our main bug out location. So they're safe and secure. They're up there. We have plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of weapons and ammunition and everything. You know, that was our main place. Plus also about 10 minutes from my actual house, which my house is where we were planning on intending to stay during an event like this, but it got so bad they had to get out. But 10 minutes from there, we also have another bug out location. An event, you know, we need to get away quick, where we have some supplies stashed too. But I'm on this midway, kind of halfway point location, where just in case on my way home from my commute, I was able to leave a cache of supplies for me to get. And a bag full of food, water, you know, all different kinds of supplies, different utensils, or different make my water paddable, you know, make a fire, basic survival needs. I was able to stash away in here. I was also able to stash away a firearm and a pistol. Okay, so this, you know, gives me a chance here. This is a pistol right here, a 9mm pistol, and also I was able to stash away my Kel-Tec sub 2000 along with that pack. Now this allows me, you know, to get a little further and get to where I need to be. Now my plan is here, I have a couple different situations I can go at. If I were to head 40 miles due north from this location right here, is my permanent bug out where my family is. Now, you know, that's going to take me about 3 to 4 days, mainly moving at night. I'm sticking thick to the cover here. Maybe even 5 days, it all depends on how bad it is out there. You know, at least I got something to defend myself. It is a pistol caliber, but I can get a lot, you know, hit targets farther and faster and better with this. It's good to about 150 yards, accurate. So I can head 40 miles due north to get to their location where there will be plenty of food. You know, my family, the rest of my family has made it to that location too. Plenty of water, food, and fighting rifles. And then my other scenario is 15 miles due south back this way is my residence. Okay. Now, I don't know what kind of shape my residence is, but man, I know I got a lot of supplies there. You know, it'll get me to my main fighting rifles. You know, I think about all this stuff that I've stocked and supplied, all this gear, you know, all this, all this load-bearing equipment and magazines and fighting rifles, and all this, you know, all my food and all my supplies and everything that I got here. You know, do I take a chance making 15 miles back that way? You know, but then it's 55 more miles I'll have to travel. But I do know 40 miles from here I do have, you know, fighting rifles and all that equipment too. So I mean, it only makes sense for me to, you know, leave my house as is, unfortunately, you know, and get to where my family is. In my supplies, I was able to stash some camo away so I can camo up. I've got some night desert camo that I think works pretty well too. I got the covers for the pants also in my pack. You know, I got some face paint. You know, if I got to dig in and stick really thick to the brush, you know, and take my time mainly moving at night, that's, you know, that's what I'm going to have to do. The good thing about this is, you know, I am able to strip down out of this camo, and I actually packed away a normal, everyday backpack for this cache spot because I figured I'd have to encounter the most amount of people moving from this location. So this allows me to take this stuff off, fold this weapon up, pack this in my pack, you know, get my regular clothes on, just take that stuff off and blend in with, you know, whatever I might need to blend in with. You know, so that gives me that option. That's a good option. So really, all when it comes down to it, I've got this Kel-Tec. I've got this pistol, 9mm. I've got a fixed blade knife, and I also have my little EDC folding knife. Plus my supplies, I got some medic supplies, some food. I got water. I got filters for water. So what I'm going to need to do is set up camp here tonight, or today. Kind of get my plan all ironed out. And then tonight, I'm going to start making my way due north. I do got a compass, so I got navigation, I got maps. So I know which way I got to travel. I got to take my time, and my main goal is to get to my actual family and my supplies. This is just one other thing when it comes to prepping, guys. You know, you have to think of all different kinds of situations, scenarios. It's almost impossible to cover everything. You know, commuting an hour a day, over an hour a day actually, you know, that leaves a big gap in your plan. So I'm glad I thought of this midway point. Well, it's 3/4 of the way point where I was able to cache, you know, a bag with supplies, with a weapon, 2 weapons, you know, some knives, some food. In the event my plan was having to get to my house in an SHTF. Well, this is even a little worse because my family had to bug out themselves, leaving my house undefended. Everything's going to be pillaged and gone through, you know, all those weapons. You know, I stashed a lot of weapons away to build up my community in an SHTF. And looks like that's not going to happen right now. I'm going to have to try to build up a community in my bug out location in that area. We'll have to find out the people, what's going on in that area, how long this is going to last. I got communications up there. So it's going to be a long 3 or 4 days to get where I need to go. I'm just glad I got this basic equipment right here, you know. I'm not planning on fighting. I'm planning on disappearing. But at least I do, and I am able to harm myself. So I'm going to make stock of the situation and iron out a plan here.